how can I make a healthy choice for cereal as a snack? Do you recommend a brand and what type of milk? 2%. Thanks. So, Alexi, I recall talking to you about this a while ago, and you were getting your cereal from your workplace. And your cereal options, as I remember, were not the healthiest. It was more the traditional Fruit Loops or whatever. So I'm really excited that you're looking to maybe bring in your own cereal options or talk to your workplace about upgrading if that's a possibility. So I have several suggestions for you. I'm going to suggest, I don't know, 5 or 6, however many I have written down, brand names of cereal. But before I do that, just in case you can't find these exact brands, I want to give you some guidelines. My number one goal, which is hard to do with cereal, very hard, but I think you can do it. Number one goal is to have double, the maximum would be double the amount of sugar as fiber. So let's say it has 4 grams of fiber per serving. I would really be looking for 8 grams of sugar at the most per serving. Because sugar, added sugar, is really what gets us in trouble with cereal. That's the thing, that's the reason that we want to stay away from too much cereal. The other reason is that it's basically all refined carbohydrates. We know, if you've watched some of these videos before, refined carbohydrates spike your blood sugar, spike your insulin, and then you come crashing down the other side. And so any kind of refined carbohydrates, even the healthier, like wheat bread, for example, if you had 29 pieces of wheat bread, that's still too much refined carbohydrates for you. Maybe in terms of blood sugar, wheat bread might be a little better than white bread, but it's still refined carbohydrates. So refined carbohydrates in cereal, and sugar, 2 things we really want to look out for in cereal. The amount of sugar should be no more than double the amount of fiber. And then to give you a few more concrete goals, I would really love to have 5 grams or more fiber per serving. This really only occurs in the cereals that are a little more granola-ish, and I use granola not in the cereal sense, but in the healthy, crunchy, hippie sense. Like, you look at the package and you're like, ooh, that's a healthy cereal. But some of them taste really good too, so don't judge a cereal box by its cover, or a cereal by its box. So 5 grams or more of fiber. I would love 5 grams or more of protein. That's also hard to do, but some of the more whole grain cereals will have that, or if they have chia seeds or nuts added, they'll have that. And I would love less than 10 grams of sugar per serving. Really love less than 8 grams, but I'll settle for less than 10 grams. So once you follow those guidelines, you have carbohydrates, you have some kind of protein. We're still generally missing fat. And so I always try to look for a macronutrient balance in any meal. I would highly suggest adding some good healthy fats to your cereal in the form of a tablespoon of chia seeds, or a tablespoon of slivered almonds, or even do like I do, just get a scoop of peanut butter or almond butter and eat it. But having some good healthy fat with that meal or that snack will help you stay more full for longer, help your body not spike the blood sugar so much, and just make it more of a complete meal, give your body everything it needs. So all of those guidelines, I have a few choices for you. Choice number 1 is just a puffed grain. So there's puffed rice, puffed camus, puffed amaranth flakes, or puffed amaranth, not flakes. Whatever, that's the only ingredient. So puffed rice, for example, the only ingredient should be rice. No added sugar, no added salt, whatever. As you can imagine, this doesn't taste like Frosted Flakes or Fruit Loops, but you can add some berries, you can add some stevia, cinnamon, slivered almonds, whatever. Doctor up your bowl to make it taste more like the cereal that you're used to. So that's number 1, just the puffed grain. Number 2, my writing's really small in here. Number 2 is Nature's Path, either Heritage Flakes or Flax Plus. This cereal is available in most grocery stores, Nature's Path brand. I'll post a link if I can find it below. because you may recognize it once I post a link to the product. Nature's Path Heritage Flakes or Flax Plus are good cereal options. Next, I have 3 that are tied for my next, for my third place. There's Kashi Heart to Heart. Heart to Heart is good. It tastes really good. It's like I have to portion control myself because I could easily eat the whole box of Heart to Heart. It's very good. Post Great Grains Honey Oats and Seeds. This one's a little harder to find even though it's by Post, but it's a good, it has some almonds and chia seeds and some other stuff in there to balance it out. And then Puffins, Barbara's Puffins, that's another one. It's kind of like so delicious, you got to portion control yourself. But Puffins are wheat-free, soy-free, dairy-free, a lot of allergen-free, and they taste really good as well. Then my 4th choice would be Cheerios. Cheerios are my number 1 pick for like a really mainstream cereal. Cheerios, you can find almost anywhere. They're pretty good. Yeah, it's not organic. It's still refined carbohydrates. I don't want you eating a box a day. But if you're going to choose a traditional Cheerio or traditional cereal, I would choose Cheerios. It's a tongue twister. Kix also, Kix, Kix. That used to be like one of my favorite cereals as a kid. Also Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which you notice is not on my list today, bummer. But Kix is a really good traditional option. So, those are my list of cereals for you, Alexi. And you also mentioned milk. I really would prefer that you drink organic milk if you're going to drink cow's milk. You said, is 2% the right kind? Kind of depends on your goals, but yeah, for most people, I would suggest 2%. Skim has a higher sugar concentration because they take out the fat, so more sugar, blood sugar spike. Whole milk, depending on your goals, might be a little too dense, so 2% is a really good compromise for a lot of people. I could also get on the bandwagon of just drinking whole milk all the time because that's how it's naturally occurring. Milk is milk. Milk is whole milk. And so any kind of refining is taking away some of the magic or the harmony of the nutrients that should all go together in foods that are produced by nature. An apple is a great food. It's produced by nature. We don't need apple fruit snacks or whatever, a twisted version of the apple. Same thing with milk. So 2% or whole, probably 2% depending on your goals. But if you're not going to have traditional cow's dairy, I really recommend almond milk, coconut milk, cashew milk, quinoa milk, hazelnut milk, some kind of alternative milk. Again, depending on your goals. But I believe that most commercial dairy is inflammatory for the majority of people. You may not be lactose intolerant like, oh my gosh, I drink milk and I run to the bathroom, but you may not realize all the inflammation that's going on in your body as you consume a lot of traditional commercial dairy. So if you're open to it, there's a brand, Califia, Califia, I think, that just took out the carrageenan, which is a not as great ingredient, and they have a good almond milk, coconut milk blend that I would really recommend.